Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Pearson, your elementary ELL teacher. Today we're going to go over the vocabulary words and pictures for second grade journeys, lesson 16. And our anchor text is Mr. Tannen's Tie Trouble by Marianne Coca Leffner. So for this lesson, you're going to turn and talk. That means I'm going to ask you a question about the pictures. You're going to think about your answer. Then you're going to pair up with a partner at home, or you can be my virtual partner. Then you're going to share your thinking out loud in a complete sentence or sentences. So for this lesson, you will need a pencil and a piece of paper or journal page, and you're going to divide the paper into 3 equal parts or thirds, 1, 2, 3, and you are going to write numbers 1 to 8. So for each number, you're going to write the vocabulary word. And then in the second column, you're going to write the synonym. And a synonym is a word that means the same or is similar. Just like combine is a synonym for mix, and mix is a synonym for combine. They mean the same thing, basically. If you don't catch the synonym, you can write the word a second time. And in the third column, I want you to draw a quick picture or sketch to help you remember each vocabulary word. So if you don't have your materials, push pause and get your pencil and paper. And when you've written 1 through 8, push play to join the lesson. So our learning targets are: I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story, Mr. Tannen's Tie Trouble. Our second learning target is I can talk about the vocabulary words and pictures. Success criteria. That means how will you know you're successful at using pictures and context clues to understand important words from the story? And how will you know you're successful about talking about the vocabulary words and pictures? Well, here are our steps to success. I will, number 1, look closely at each group of pictures. Number 2, say what I notice about the pictures. How are they the same or similar? Number 3, read each word and its definition. Number 4, write each word 1 to 2 times, a synonym, and draw a quick sketch. So if you have a partner at home, here are turn and talk rules. Number 1, eye to eye and knee to knee. It's important to look at the speaker when you are talking and listening. And first one person talks, the other person listens. Number 3, then the next person talks, the other person listens. But do not talk too long on your turn, or your partner will not have time to have a turn. For each group of pictures, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you notice or see? And you're going to say out loud, I notice, and finish your thought. How are they all the same or similar? And you're going to tell me how the pictures are similar or the same. They all. If you have a partner at home or I'm your virtual partner, you can agree with me and you can say, I agree with you because, and say why, or I disagree. I disagree with you because, and tell me why. So here's our first group of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a person is giving a gift to another person. I notice in the second picture, a person is giving something to one person. And in the third picture, I notice that a mom is receiving or getting a package from a delivery person. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all. Well, they all show received. So for number 1, I want you to write received. 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 Received, received. The root word is receive, and received means past tense. It received is got or accepted what was sent to you. You got or accepted what was sent to you. So after you write received, a synonym could be got or accepted. You can write one or both of those words. The boys received some money for raking leaves in the yard, or the boys got or accepted some money for raking leaves in the yard. Think about it. What gifts have you received that were surprises? Or you could say, what gifts have you accepted that were surprises? Or what gifts have you got that were surprises? So number one is received. A synonym is got or accepted. And at the end, we will review these words one more time where you can look at the pictures again. Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, it looks like a woman is handing money to a bank teller. And in the second picture, it looks like the person has their piggy bank and they're bringing it to the bank. And in the third picture, again, it looks like a woman is handing someone money. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all, well, they all show account because you can have a bank account. So for number two, write account, 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 account. An account is a place where you deposit and keep your money, usually at a bank. So an account is where you deposit and keep your money, usually at a bank. So a synonym could be safe place at a bank. So it's not just one word, it's a shorter definition. A safe place where you keep your money, safe place at a bank. An account is usually at a bank. So here's our sentence. The girl opened a bank account with the money from her allowance. The girl opened a bank account with money from her allowance. Think about it. Why would someone keep money in account at a bank instead of keeping the money at home? Why would someone keep money in an account at a bank instead of keeping the money at home? Next group of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a clipboard with a checklist, monthly expenses. So someone must be keeping track of how much money it costs to buy food, electricity, water, phone, internet. In the next picture, I notice money and gifts and a place writing down a plan for that money. In the third picture, I notice it says monthly expenses and all these different things you need to buy uh, during the month, like car payment, clothing, electricity, water, gasoline, food, coffee. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all, well, they all show budget, Budget, budget. Budget, budget. What is a budget? It's a plan on how to spend money. Your budget is a plan on how to spend money. So a synonym could be money plan. You come up with a plan for your money. A budget is a plan for how you should spend your money. And here it says my budget for the field trip. I have $11. I will spend $4 on lunch. I will spend $5 on souvenirs. I will spend $2 on a snack. And that all adds up to $11. Think about it. Would you need to know how to plan a budget or a money plan? Budget. Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a cat that looks very sad. In the second picture, I notice an emoji that looks sad or down. And I notice in the third picture, a boy that's walking slowly and has a sad look on their face. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all? Well, they all show disappointed. Disappointed. That's a big word. Disapppointed. Disappointed. The root word is disappoint. 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 And then it has ed at the end. So that's past tense. Disappointed. Disappointed. What does disappointed mean? Sad or unhappy. So a synonym for disappointed could be sad. He was disappointed or sad when he would not be able to buy the book. He was disappointed or sad when that he would not be able to buy the book. Looks like he had a jar of money where he had a fund or an account where he kept his money. Think about it. Think of a time when you were disappointed. What had you hoped for and why didn't it happen? Next group of pictures. What do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a dog laughing or chuckling. In the second picture, I notice SpongeBob looks like he has a smile and is laughing. And in the third picture, it looks like a girl. I believe she's Miss Giggles, but I'm not sure. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all? Well, they all show chuckled. The root word is chuckle, Chuckle, and then the D makes it past tense. It already happened. Chuckled, chuckled, chuckled. Chuckled means laughed or giggled quietly. Chuckled, laughed or giggled quietly. A synonym or a word that means the same could be laughed. Laughed. Her dad chuckled when he saw her tiny piggy bank. Her dad chuckled when he saw her tiny piggy bank. Think about it. What happened the last time someone chuckled at something you said? Or you could say, think about it. What happened the last time someone laughed at something you said? So you could also say her dad laughed when he saw her tiny piggy bank, because laughed and chuckled are synonyms of each other. Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice two boys staring at each other. They don't look very happy. In the second picture, I notice Winnie the Pooh is looking very intently at the bee right in front of his face. And in the third picture, I notice a woman looking forward. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all show. See if I can get it up here. Staring, staring, staring. Stare is the root word, and then they took the E off and made it ing. Staring, staring. Staring. Staring means looking or gazing at something for a long time. So, staring means looking or gazing at something for a long time. So, a synonym for staring could be looking or gazing. Two different words for staring, looking or gazing. The girl was staring at the money. Should she save it or spend it? The girl was staring at the money. Should she save it or spend it? So the girl was staring, or the girl was looking, or the girl was gazing. Think about it. If you saw someone staring upward, what do you think you would do? So think about it. If you saw someone looking upward or gazing upward or staring upward, what do you think you would do? Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a woman is talking to her pet parrot, and the woman says, "Hello." And the pet parrot repeated what she said, and the parrot said, "Hello." And in the next picture, I notice arrows that keep going around over and over. And in the third picture, I notice a pattern of flowers, one, two, three rows of three flowers. They're all in some sort of pattern or repeating. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all show repeat or repeated. The root word is repeat. In repeated, 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 repeated. Root word is repeat, and then repeated means it happened already in the past, just like the parrot repeated what the woman said, or the pattern repeated itself, or the arrows repeated. So things kept going around and around, kept going. So repeated means did or said it again, duplicated or redone, did or said it again, duplicated or redone. So a synonym for repeated could be duplicated. Duplicated is one synonym, or you could write redone is another. Repeated is also known to be duplicated or redone. Duplicate means to repeat or make a copy. The car wash was such a big success that the class repeated it in May. The car wash was such a big success that the class repeated it in May. You could also say the car wash was such a big success that the class duplicated it in May or redid it in May. Talk about it. What tasks have you repeated so that you could learn them? What tasks have you repeated so that you could learn them? So, when you learned how to ride a bike or how to swim, what did you have to do to learn how to swim or ride a bike? What tasks did you have to repeat or duplicate or redo? Next group of pictures, what do you notice or see? I notice or I see. Well, in the first picture, I notice a boy is asking for money and another person is putting it in the collection can. In the next picture, I notice a jar full of money. In the third picture, I notice someone's having a bake sale and people are buying things at the bake sale. So, how are these pictures the same or similar? They all, well, they all show fund. 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 What is a fund? It's a collection of money raised from an event. A collection of money raised from an event. So, for example, the first boy is collecting money. The second picture shows a collection of money in a jar. And in the third picture, the event is the bake sale, and people are raising money for the bake sale fund. Okay, so a synonym could be collection or savings. Fund could be a collection or savings. The players got new shirts by raising money for the team fund. The players got new shirts by raising money for the team fund or raising money for the team collection or team savings. Think about it. How could students raise money for a special event fund? How could students raise money for a special event fund or special event collection or special event savings? All right, it's time to check your work. Number one was received, got or accepted what was sent to you. Received, received, and I highlighted the synonyms, got and accepted. So that can be what you wrote for synonym. Number two, account, place where you deposit and keep your money, usually at a bank. Account. And I highlighted place and money because that's where you keep your money in an account. Number three, budget. Plan on how to spend money. Plan on how to spend money. Budget. And I highlighted the word plan. Number four, disappointed, sad, or unhappy. So this is a good time to push pause. Make sure you have all four words. And in the second column, make sure you have the synonyms, which are highlighted in yellow. And in the third column, I want you to draw a quick picture or sketch. So do those three things. And when you're finished, well, first push pause. And when you're finished, push play to rejoin the lesson. Number five is chuckled, laughed, or giggled quietly. And again, a synonym could be laughed. Number six, staring, looking, or gazing at something for a long time. So a synonym could be looking or gazing. Number seven, repeated, did or said it again, duplicated or redone. And number eight, fund, a collection of money that is raised from an event. Fund. All right, again with the first four words, this is our last four words, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You can push pause, make sure you have each of these words spelled correctly. In the second column, I want you to write a synonym or a word that means the same, which I've highlighted in yellow. And in the third column, I want you to draw a quick picture or sketch. So once you're finished with that, you can push play to rejoin the lesson. At the top of your paper, I want you to reflect on the learning target. I can use pictures and context clues to help me understand important words from the story, Mr. Tannen's Tie Trouble. So, how do you think you did using pictures and context clues to understand the important words from the story? Would you give yourself a 4? I could teach this lesson. I easily said what I noticed about each group of pictures and how they were the same. Or number 3, I was able to say what I noticed about most of the pictures and how they were the same. Or would you give yourself a 2? I was able to say what I noticed about some of the pictures and how they were the same. Or would you give yourself a 1? I was not able to say what I noticed about any of the pictures or how they were the same. So how do you think you did? 4, 3, 2, or 1? All right, boys and girls, thank you for doing the review of the vocabulary words and pictures for Mr. Tannen's Tie Trouble. Have a great day.